Good morning. Hope all is well on December 1st for you all. This is your general reading for the collective. Spirit is here to give true, precise messages of overall energy for the collective of those that are on this journey of healing. Okay. And Divine Masculine. Thank you. Also just going to make note, if you see the flame dance a lot, that is, if you're asking yourself a question, the answer is yes. If it goes dim, that answer is no. Divine Masculines are singing their heart out. Divine Feminines are the spiders again today. Awesome. I like this because it represents our faith, not only believing in ourselves, but believing in the Great Spirit to have our back, to have that, there are, I don't know, safety net perhaps would be the word, since it looks like a net, right? But remember, with the spider, it's not only are they being very creative and methodical, creating something beautiful, but also the circle of life as it goes around and around, right? And with the spider, and I say it's very grounded, and it's having the faith not only in yourself to spin this web from knowing that you have everything within you to create this beautiful creation. As the spider, they have faith to start from one corner of a room or a building, right? And to almost leap to the other corner to continue with their web making process. And they have faith in Great Spirit that to have that tiny string is going to, that silk string or whatever it's made of, is going to hold the weight of this huge, say, tarantula or spider, much larger than that tiny thread of a web that they're creating. But they methodically go around and create this to hold not only themselves, but to capture that of which they need, what they nurture. And they only take in their web what they need. They are not wasteful. They take in what they will use for their own survival or nourishment. They stay, also this card shows it some emotional going within and healing oneself, healing your inner child, methodically going in intentionally to heal what a trigger has caused. If something caused a trigger, you intentionally go down within, heal it, release it to the ethers, and you're doing the work. This is someone who's definitely doing the work and shining brightly. And your Divine Masculine feels that growth, that light that you're shining. You are their world. They are singing out. They know that you are the light that shines, that guides them in their journey. This is an air sign. Feeling light, like you take some of the burden off them, because they know as you heal yourself, you're healing them. And they feel that change, that transformation going on within them, giving them a sense of like inner peace as possible. They are then too going within, and as things come up from the depths of their soul, as we trigger them, they're having to transmute or digest that emotion that comes up and sending it out to the ethers as well. Learning to do the work, learning meditation, how to read tarot cards, perhaps to understand messages from Spirit or others. But know that you are lighting their world. Just the thought of you keeps them grounded on earth. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so we're going to get the messages. Great. So, triggers, as we're talking of. We have triggers. Recently someone has had a tower. I think I had a tower moment last night. Not even sure what it was, but man, I got wiped out. 5 o'clock, I was down for the count. I don't know if it was something that happened with the masculine or myself, but I felt it. So the trigger, you know, something comes in, triggers, shatters our foundation, and we feel like we're crawling on the ground like a caterpillar, right? Because we've got to pick ourselves back up and move on and have faith to move on, to put down the burdens, to transmute those triggers that happen, and know that it's for our own growth so that we can move forward. Spirit gives true and precise messages, okay, and it's regarding your Two of Cups, the trigger. Now, I don't usually pull them apart and read them, but Spirit wanted me to show these to you as I pulled them apart, so for whatever reason that is. Okay. Spirit gives true and precise messages for the Divine Feminines, please. True and precise messages for how the feminines are today. Alright, let's pick this mess up. Let's see. I'm going to try and keep it in order. Oh boy. Let me see if these are supposed to be in reverse. Correct. Are they supposed to be in reverse? Is the Queen of Wands in reverse? And choices. Is the Queen of Wands karmic? Is the World card supposed to be in reverse? Is the Devil card in reverse? Feminine, the Divine Masculine, the karmic. This reading is for Divine Feminine. Wait. Okay. Give us cards for the masculines, please. Some precise messages regarding the masculines. A lot coming through, heavy energy on some of these masculines. Please, Divine Masculines. Where are the Divine Masculines at this time? Call in your energy. Giving us true precise messages. Okay. Maybe they don't want to give up their messages. You know, the Divine Feminine here is in her truth ready to tell it all, and the cards just don't want to come out for the masculines. True and precise messages for the masculines, please. True and precise messages for the masculines. Thank you. Oops. I didn't see this, so I don't know when this is. Alright. Heavy energy. Okay, Divine Feminines. Okay, so recently stepped back. You set down the swords. Things were said back and forth between perhaps the masculine and the feminine, or perhaps something to do with even the karmic. Needless to say, we laid down the cards on the table, per se, since, like, the swords, right? Everybody laid down their swords to say, let's meditate about this. Let's take a step back and think about this. Well, the Divine Feminine, of course, is having faith, doing the growth, trusting things will work out, not wanting to see all the pain that has been caused, or knowing that she has to go within and transmute it. She's listening to her higher self, knowing her spirit guides have her, are protecting her. Definitely feels left out in the cold, but is having the strength to go within and do the healing required. Okay, and this is the Divine Feminine, is in her emotions, and it's helping her to grow, knowing that it's helping her to grow, listening to her higher self, knowing that she has filled her own cup with self-love, and at this time going to stay connected to the connection, stay in her emotions, or setting her foot still in emotions. Know that this will grow as she heals herself. She heals him and sends him healing energy from a distance. But she's covering her cup at this time so that she can transmute all those emotions and pains into something positive. Ignoring what's going on over there, ignoring the karmic situation. The Queen of Wands here is the karmic, or representing the karmic, and the Divine Feminine is not concerning herself with this energy, not concerning herself with any communication coming up regarding this karmic. And she knows that she's the Divine Feminine, and that she's not an option. She's taken herself out of the choices of, I'm going to flip this over, it's the Seven of Cups. She's here represented with the bullseye, or the alchemical sign here of the Divine Cup. The masculine is over here as a turtle, moving as slow as a turtle, or slower, and knows that he has to get across these waters, waiting for waters to calm so he can cross to choose. But this is in reverse, because the Divine Feminine, during these communications, they laid their swords on the table. She's transmuting that. She's filling her own cup with love, ignoring the communication that's going on over there regarding the karmic, and taking herself out of that option, so that because she's not an option, she is the divine counterpart. If they want a karmic, or they want a side piece, then that's one of these other cups. But the Divine Feminine has made them realize, came in her truth, or spoke her truth, that she's not an option to be set aside. When they are ready and in their power, in their strength, in their truth, they can come forward. They can come forward to her in her truth, just as she speaks her truth, with passion, willing to fight for this, raging forward with the strength and passion that burns inside her. This is also a new beginning. The Ace of Swords, a new beginning, because truth is spoken. All right, the wheel does want to turn forward, regardless of the season. I'm hearing that it is the season for the wheel to turn forward. Thank you, Spirit. So Wheel of Fortune, it's a number 10, so it's both ending over here and beginning on that side, right? As it turns, it brings forth growth. Also is doing away and dropping off any attachments of things that no longer serve her, any toxic energies with the snake over here. She's dropping them out of her energy field, dropping away the news or information regarding karmics or people that are toxic and not serving her highest good for her mission, for her soul purpose. And if this includes the Divine Masculine, of not turning her back on him, but taking the break, pulling her energy back, so that he then has to fill his own cup with love, self-love, so that he can grow within himself, to have the strength and courage to come forward to her. As this wheel turns, she doesn't need to see with her two eyes, because she is the high priestess. She sees with her third eye, her intuition. Her spirit guides direct her for this forward movement. And while the divine masculine may feel like he's running on a hamster wheel trying to catch up to her, because of course we divine feminines are the leaders in the transformation, in our higher vibration, and as we heal ourselves, we then heal them, bringing them up. So not that they're beneath us, not that they're behind us, but we are energetically healing them as we heal ourselves. It helps them then move forward. Currently, as we are ending this cycle, 21 is also a 3, body, mind, and soul, spirit. I was going to say soul, but spirit, soul, same thing. This is a closing of one cycle, beginning of the new. This new cycle is promised of cycle after cycle regarding this flame connection. It is almost like we refer to as the figure 8, right? It's an endless movement, or the circle of life, continuation. It is the promise, as the sun is promised to rise every day, the moon comes up every night, so does the ending of the cycle and the beginning of the new. You reach this ending of the cycle and are beginning this new cycle in this new season of December. Today's December 1st. It may be wrapping you up in emotions, but you are somewhat grounded, or holding on to your faith of being grounded, holding on to the connection to your flame while you love yourself and heal yourself, feeling vulnerable as well, as she's in the bear here. Nurturing oneself regardless to the season. Okay? And as this cycle ends and the new cycle begins, you have truth and clarity. Spirit is showing you, because you don't need to see with your own eyes. Spirit shows you with your third eye the things you have to release, the things that you know you are not allowing into your life, and that'd be the toxic energy, or toxic energies of the devil energy, which is number 6. You're listening to your higher self, and your third eye is wide open, and you know and mirror your masculine in energy. So you already understand that he's dealing with the karmic that is a toxic. He's somewhat tied to that toxic karmic because of devil energy that they were entwined with at one time in their life. Right? The divine masculine here is trying to find the courage and the strength, number 8 card. Also a near ending, right? And they've recently had the change of the transformation, the tower after tower, well, the towers and the transformation, and possibly for some have had the rebirth. Many have had rebirth recently. As of even just the other day, perhaps, I'm getting that they are now avoiding or ignoring the snakes in the grass, even if they reside if they're right beside them or in front of them, they are ignoring them. They are only focused on the connection of the flame and listening to their higher self now. Spirit guides, they're trying to listen to the divine and gain that connection, gain that clarity, to give them the strength and courage to come communicate with the divine feminine. They are nervous because they see here that the divine feminine is in this mode, laying the swords on the table, meditating, trying to gain clarity and transmute this, that she's hurt. And they know that the hurt was caused by a communication between the two. So they're trying to gain the strength to come forward. Also because they can sense in the energetic field that you're not giving the same amount of energy that you once did, the communication, the constant love that you were providing them, that they took for granted, perhaps, or vice versa. That you're currently filling your own cup still and not looking to bring in any affection or love from something toxic in your energy field. You're protecting your energetic field and aura so that you can be in soul purpose, be in mission, and heal your counterpart from a distance. They're having the strength to come forward to this level of energy. They know that you are strong, and that's what they love about you, is your strength and confidence, your independence, your belief, your like unwavering belief in what you believe in. They do want this new beginning with you. They are trying to look to Great Spirit, to higher source, for guidance regarding this without being greedy. They're trying to be loyal. They're trying to put behind the ghosts in the closet, the skeletons in their closet. They're digging out the skeletons in the closet. This is for some. Regarding this, perhaps there were skeletons in the closet they thought you didn't know about, and they want to speak truth on this so that things can move forward of why this is how they are. Perhaps it was something as a child, as this man looks somewhat youthful right now. For some reason he's looking like a child there in the fields. Almost reminds me of like a child in an apple orchard for some reason, but what else, Spirit? They're not sure how you're going to take the news, so they're kind of questioning themselves. Am I really hearing these messages? Am I really getting intuitive messages? Is this really telepathic communication? Is this really Great Spirit speaking to me? They're questioning the signs and synchronicities. Am I really hearing that song every day? Am I really seeing those numbers of synchronicity every day for a reason? Is that Spirit speaking to me? Is that, why am I seeing the same animal outside every day? But they're questioning it and looking to Spirit to say, what does it mean? And they're trying to understand the science of those messages. What does it mean to see, a cardinal or a squirrel outside your door every day, aside the fact that the squirrel is hungry? That might be what they're thinking, because I don't know why I said that. Somebody was thinking that, because it wasn't me. But they want to move forward the Chariot. Number 7 here for synchronicities. Spirit is showing them the time is now. This horse is moving forward with the divine feminine in it, with or without the masculine. They need to be in mission. They need to be in soul purpose. It's meant, you both reincarnated here from one atom split into two bodies, but you're one soul. And you are contracted to reincarnate to Earth to complete this mission together, to be in soul purpose together. So Spirit's saying the divine feminine has stepped up. She's in her power at this point and ready to go into mission. And this Chariot is moving forward with or without the divine masculine. Now, if the masculine doesn't move forward, then he doesn't complete his mission. He'll have to continue with his karmic lessons for another cycle. And perhaps that's what this cycle is about. I'm just getting, for some, they didn't choose correctly and they are having to continue another cycle with the karmic because they chose wrong. They thought they had choices and that they would always be there. They didn't believe that this divine feminine would speak the truth to move forward without them. That's for just a few. But the Chariot wants to move forward, and Spirit is saying the time is now to come forward with communication regarding this divine cup that is overflowing in love from both of you. Have filled yourselves with love now, found the unconditional love of self in union with self, just as both of these flowers are two separate, but in the cup they are nurturing one another and coming together as one And Spirit's saying the time is now time to communicate this unconditional love for stability, for the sake of stability, to be in union together on this mission in partnership with this person. And genders don't matter. This is two women, just saying. But the season is now. The season is growing. The Four of Wands is stability. Your higher selves are here speaking to you and guiding you and nudging you and saying, move forward, speak the truth, and make this connection to have stability. And that now is the season. The King of Wands, he's listening. He knows that not only is he listening to his own higher self, but he also has the divine feminine's higher self speaking with him telepathically. He hears them, whether he understands that that's truly her speaking or not. He does hear the messages, and he's listening and holding tight to the connection. He is protecting this connection. His heart chakra is open. He's learning to have strength. You see all the orange and yellow in this, which is the solar plexus chakra, which is all about strength and courage. And he's confident in himself, understanding that, almost like thinking the divine feminine knew this all along, and so just much more happier about it. See his face, how he's very content with self-love. Not like the King of Swords, where you see the King of Swords always has that grumpy look on his face. The King of Cups has a smile on his face, grinning ear to ear, overflowing with love, right? But this King here of Wands is communication. He understands that the divine feminine knew this connection was true all along, and now he's willing and wanting to communicate that he understands now, and he's wrapping himself in that new belief system because he's let go of his old belief systems. All right, he is wanting a solid foundation for this connection and protecting it from the karmic. He doesn't want to be out in the cold anymore. He wants to move forward. Is keeping this close to his heart. He knows she's the yin to his yang, and protecting the flames of passion that burns within him for this connection. Temperance is here to light him up, must be, with the sun, but enlighten him in his crown chakra and his intuition, to move him along, to help him like wings of the angels, to move him forward in his emotions so that he can balance these things out and heal faster, as the divine masculines is, because divine is healing him and we are healing them and they're healing themselves, so their healing and growth goes much faster from one day to the next than divine feminine's level of healing. So temperance comes in, balance these out so that there's new growth blossoming, and the sun is promised to rise. As the sun is promised to rise? I don't know. I'm going to move this back a little, so in case you can't see that flame dance. There. Don't even ask anything yet. Spirits here for true and precise messages. I just realized I didn't put the mic on. Sorry about that. Clarify the Nine of Swords here. Clarify Nine of Swords for the divine feminine. Jeez, half the deck. I might take these for some for the next Okay, so let me set them down for a minute. So you have the Nine of Swords, equal give and take, the Six of Cups. Also, this is how she's planting seeds, or they both are, but the Divine Feminine has planted seeds in all these cups for growth, to work together, for abundance, in beauty, nurturing Mother Earth, her inner child as well. And for some, maybe you have a child with your Divine Masculine, but others, this is your inner child. Justice is here, full of emotions. She knows Justice is coming in to balance things out, because she knows this was in a lot of emotions were spilled. There are swords here, but is down, which is there was truths not spoken, and now Justice has balanced these things out to bring truth to light regarding these the emotional connection. Regarding the indecision and decisions that had to be made. For the Divine Feminine, it's not a problem to make a decision. She removes the mask or blindfold. This Two of Swords is usually where it's crossed, right? Making an indecision, not able to decide. But that's not a problem for the Divine Feminine. She chooses which sword she uses with clarity, because the Divine lights the path. You can see this sword has a glow of yellow light around it. And this sword is actually behind her, not in her hand. And the two birds that her higher self, her spirit guides, are with her, regarding these tidal waves of emotions that come pouring in. But she knows which sword is going to serve her best. She knows which emotions are there to heal her, and which ones to transmute and send back to the ethers. While the Divine Feminine knows that this Divine Masculine is her Ten of Cups, she focuses on her healing herself, loving herself, knowing that the promise of the rainbow is there for emotional support, but happiness, abundance in all things. Again, she's healing his inner child as well as her own. When she goes within and heals herself, having faith, like the spider, that all things are possible. It's Ten of Cups. And who's the Ten of Cups? Of course, King of Cups. And she knows she's nurturing herself and covering hers, which then, when she pulled away, forced the King of Cups, the Divine Masculine, to go within and nurture himself as he's drinking from his own divine cup of love, loving himself, nurturing himself, knowing still though that she is the light that lights his way, and that he will hold on to this wand with the flame connected, but while he's healing himself first. And Temperance is here, pouring love from one cup to the other, ensuring that just the right amount of love goes into each of their cups for self-love, so that they can then pour those two cups into the Divine Cup to nurture together equally. This is blooming at divine timing is at play with this, on how it blooms and comes to fruition, regardless to things that fly in and out of our lives, or the emotional waterfalls that we feel regarding other areas of our lives. We put those other areas to the back burner and know that we need to heal ourselves first and put ourselves first, and not in an ego way, because we have dissolved our ego, but in a manner that is that for our own health, for our own prosperity and growth. Four of Pentacles is a balance and stability, but the Pentacles is in this one reminds me that there was they were putting their belief on something that was false, an illusion, thank you, Spirit. Because these two are like rusted and all damaged and bent. They were not going to serve her. These two pentacles needed to be, released, because they won't serve her highest good. They are damaged. And she's realizing that. So she's having to rebuild her pentacles. As the King of Pentacles, he too is in his home front, separate from the Divine Feminine, most likely. Knows that she's still the light that guides his way, but he's working on building his pentacles, his stability, so he can come with an offer of something that will provide calm waters and a happy home environment. And willing to do the work. The Divine Feminine is always willing to do the work. She's abundant and a hard worker. 3 here is about work. Perhaps you also work with this person. However, this one here is about community coming together to do the work, or the Divine Feminine putting the work in, divinely orchestrated with her spirit guides. It's divinely orchestrated on this canvas. This connection is like a divinely guided canvas. Somebody's an artist. I don't know what that was for. Somebody must paint or draw. Queen of Cups, please, Spirit. Clarify the Queen of Cups. Clarify the Queen of Cups. Okay. How about the Queen of Wands, Spirit? Can you clarify the Queen of Wands? Queen of Wands, which is the Queen of, or Page of Swords, communication, but in lies. Remember, the Queen of Wands here was the karmic in reverse. Page of Swords, not in her truth. It's in reverse because the Divine Feminine is not worried about it, not thinking about it, keeping it over there, because she knows nothing about that situation will be coming true. She knows that Divine Feminine knows the masculine has a choice to make. The Two of Wands, this is what was communicated when she pulled back. Most likely someone chose correctly or chose wrong, but it was about a choice. What about the Seven of Cups there? Seven of Cups. Ooh. Somebody kept their devil energy was regarding options, thought they had many options, were playing the field, thought they were, what was that word? I lost it, sorry. Don Juan? I don't think Don Juan was. Alright, Seven of Cups was the options in reverse. She took herself out of the option category because she's not an option. If they don't see her worth, she does. So she's standing and sitting in her truth. Ace of Wands, communication. The communication was putting her between a hard place and a rock. She knew she had to communicate truth regarding him considering her an option. Because of his devil energy, thinking that he could play the field or multiple options. And this doesn't always have to be people, it could be person, place, or thing. It could be somebody that gambles instead of spending time with you. It could be somebody that works too much or workaholic. But getting the energy here for the most that it was other women, which we're well aware of, because as a High Priestess and Divine, we already see the truth behind the lies. We already see the veils removed to us for us to see for our protection, so we're ready for it when it comes, right? Oops. Oh, the Ace of Swords was regarding Four Swords, someone that then is going into rest to heal, but feeling vulnerable. She took her shoes off here, so she's allowing herself to be vulnerable and hanging her swords up on the wall, but her sword is upright in truth. So again, the Ace of Swords is in truth. Alright, clarify the Wheel of Fortune for the feminine. Cards don't lie, I tell you. I don't know who these are for. I already did my reading, so it's not my reading. Okay. So yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, right? She's the Empress. She's all four queens in one. But she is growing her own pentacles, blossoming. She's planted her seeds. She's over there now, sitting here in her Queen of Cups energy with love, emotion, and building her pentacles. On the Wheel of Fortune, her pentacles are growing. She will be abundant in all things. She took herself out of the options so that because she was the divine, she's the divine, from the divine, divine guided her to him or him to her, either way, but removing herself as an option. This was communicated, the communication of truth. She's removing herself from that three-party situation. And there was 3 women in this situation. There's no man in this, so he had 3 women total. Or more, I'm seeing. He used to celebrate in his mind that he had many that were entertaining him, per se. What else? He thought that was his gift. He's just gifted that way, that women come to him, offering themselves to him. Something's over here. I can't tell what it was, though. Okay. The world wants to turn. Number 3. Or not the world. New cycle, my bad. New cycle, Sarah. New cycle. Alright, so this World card is the closing of an old cycle, closing and putting an end to the being stabbed in the back. Divine Feminine communicated her truth, removing herself from the three-party situation or more, removing herself from the overpouring emotional issues, so she could heal, so she could pull out all these swords of all the things, the gossips, the three-party situations, the lies, the deceit, right? The hurtful words back and forth, even from friends and family that didn't support her, perhaps. But she's removing those swords in the ending that cycle so that she can heal and move forward. She's turning her back on all those wands that stood against her, taking her wand and moving forward. She's building her pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. She's willing to put the work in. She's ambitious. She's abundant in all things. And she was going after her 10 of Pentacles, and from someone that won't involve a third-party situation. She wants the 10 of Pentacles together, to build together so that they can have their abundance between them together. Regarding this, the devil energy was the karmic, because she knew that his devil energy was other women, that he was bound to sex addictions or also indulgence in alcohol, other such. She received these messages from her third eye and higher self, giving her this visions of what was going on over there so that she could move forward regarding these 3, removing herself from the choice of the 3. Clarify the Devil's card here. Clarify the Devil regarding the karmic. move places and things. Yeah, because she put, and then to the Eight of Swords behind her, she's going to move forward. She's not going to allow herself to be imprisoned by this devil energy that he was putting her in regarding her Ace of Cups, that her self-love. But this puts him, that rubber band effect, the magnetic pole flips around then and brings him forward, surrendering to the divine Great Spirit for forgiveness, knowing now, because Great Spirit has shown him the error of his ways, and he will come forward then to the Divine Feminine. Clarify anything else for the Divine Feminines. Anything else for the Divine Feminine? Anything else for the Divine Feminine? Shoot. Okay, moving on. Okay, clarify strength for the masculine. Seven of Wands, having the strength to stand up for himself and what he wants. Mostly against the... Okay, clarify the Page of Pentacles. Holy cow, they're going to jump out. Now he wants to defend himself. Goodness. Alright. But Justice came in to balance things out, showing him, enlightening him. That's that transformation, the rebirth. He's received, messages from Spirit, the error of the way. So now, Two of Coins, he wants to no longer juggle, but to balance. And with this rainbow here, even though it's going to be an emotional struggle, he's willing to put the work in. Because he wants that loyalty, he wants that passion, that Ten of Cups. Clarify the Chariot, clarify the Chariot. Yes, surrendering to this Great Spirit. Ace of Cups. Who's he offering the Ace of Cups to? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not taking them because I wasn't sure if they were supposed to. Ace of Cups, Spirit. Alright, flip them both. Yeah. He knows that she holds the key to his heart. He wants to come in with a gift and build these pentacles together. Ten of Coins. And the Sun is here. Also, this is my card for learning. He wants to learn and understand the quantum physics of this journey, this connection. He's trying to put together the science and analyze how this all is coming together. And how is it that the Divine Feminine sees these things ahead of time? How is it she's so gifted and shines so brightly? He's trying to figure that out with the brightness of this orb. But the Sun card is the best in the card. Clarify these Four of Wands. Not that we need to clarify what it means, but stability, connection. Yes, absolutely, to his High Priestess, because he knows Spirit has shown him who she is now in the importance of the connection. King of Wands. Clarify the King of Wands. Okay, this is in reverse. He doesn't want her to move forward. He doesn't want her to leave him behind. This man is on the edge over here and she's moving forward. It's in reverse, so that's what he doesn't want, her moving forward. He knows that she's his star. She, even when the towers fall, she shines brightly and guides him and leads him. She also sends him energy, and he feels that. Even though he's hit rock bottom, he still feels this love from her. And he wants this Chariot to move forward with her. Two of Swords. Clarify Two of Swords for the masculine, please. Clarify the Two of Swords with the masculine. Thank you. And Two of Swords, because he knows that there's been pain. Eight of Swords. He knows that there's a cobweb in this as well. That he put her in a web of lies, and that the pain that it caused. The Ace of Coins. He wants to move forward with his pentacles and growth together. Wait, of course, what's this little guy? I don't know. Okay. Clarify temperance. Temperance is here to balance things out, equal give and take. Pentacles, oh, six of coins, sorry. And 6, you got 2 6s here. Again, equal balance, balance of emotional love and compassion, but this is also balancing out their inner child. He knows that she heals his inner child and makes him feel useful, and she knows that she's also healing both hers and his inner child as the High Priestess. Even throughout the pain that the three-party situation caused, even throughout all the tears that were shed, she's still healing him. She knew of the options, and it put in a disarray. She wanted to come out of the gold. She wants to bring him out of the cold, but she also knows it has to be an end to all the pain. So she manifested a new beginning, manifested this change by pulling her energy back, healing herself, so that there's celebration together, with the King of Coins coming forward with that gift or that offer. Anything else for the Divine Masculine, please? Anything else for the Divine Masculine? Well, on the bottom we have the Ace of Cups. The Three of Cups, celebration. Spirit, give us a fairy card. If you want a personal reading, email me at sacredspiritualhealer@gmail.com. The link is below. Also check out the other videos on the channel. I also have Facebook if you want to join us on Facebook. Message for the Divine Feminine Spirit, Divine Masculine message, Divine Masculine message. Masculines, the Hermit. Find or be a mentor. Take a break from society. A commitment to your spiritual growth is needed. Feminines, release. Let go of the past. An ending that makes way for new opportunity, new offers. Time to move. Also, for both of you, they feel you. You are mirroring. Fear is an illusion. Push past the veil. Practice courage. Amen. Because you got courage here, remember? For the masculine. Triggers are a blessing. They are a gift, and they are lessons for us to go within and heal our inner child. Also, plant your seeds and sow them well. Have faith. Forgive yourself. Have mercy on yourself and your counterpart. For anything that's in the back, this new cycle offers a new beginning in your connection. So pretend that, or well, I don't know if it's pretend, but go about it as if you're just meeting them for the very first time when they come back, so that there's no resentment of the three-party situations. There's no resentment of the lies or deceit, the gossips that were created or caused, any pain or word said. To forget and to forgive, but to move forward with mercy is to treat them like you truly forgive them. To move on with mercy is to start fresh, like you're just introducing yourselves for the first time. Hey, I'm so-and-so. All right, so I hope you have a blessed day and that this helps.